I can't emphasize enough how important it is for us to hold on to hope. And I know it may become increasingly difficult to feel hopeful when we get bad news, more and more bad news. But it's really, really important that you do whatever you can to maintain a positive a positive visualization of what the outcome is going to be. And I know it's not easy, and some people are probably like, this is ridiculous. We just have to accept this is where we're at, that we're going to have this dictatorship, and that's just our life now. And I get that because it's hard not to feel that way when the mainstream media keeps telling us there's no hope. But it's been challenging for all of us to maintain this belief that the outcome could be other than what it is right now. I know that when I'm at home, when I'm talking to my guides, when I'm on TikTok, I feel really positive and hopeful. And then when I go out into the world and I'm just feeling all of this despair in the world, I can't help but feel it just kind of hitting me like a wind. Everybody is so sad and scared. And of course, every time I go outside and I encounter that, then I start having doubts like, maybe I'm a fool. Maybe I'm being, naively optimistic about what's going to happen. Maybe I'm delusional. Maybe I'm in denial. And I have doubts, every time I go out in the world and I'm around other people who are so sad and feeling so hopeless. And then also when I watch the news, it makes me feel hopeless. But I just talked to my guides today, and they were really emphatic about the importance of us, especially women, believing in our own power. And when we start kind of accepting that, oh, we're just going to be in this really oppressive society now with no rights, that makes us feel hopeless. And that makes us feel powerless. And when we feel powerless, we don't connect to our power as much. But we're all powerful beings. We're all spiritual beings having a physical incarnation, and we're all connected to this really powerful higher self, soul, creator, whatever you want to call it. We all have access to something bigger than our little physical selves, and we're all super powerful. But if you make people think that they're helpless, it's a lot easier to control them. And so if you can get people to be hopeless and feel helpless, then you can do what you want with them. And so that's the struggle for us right now. For us women, for us people of color, for us gay and lesbian, trans, LGBTQ people, for those of us who are immigrants, all of those of us who are in these targeted groups who are dealing with very real threats to our lives, it's very easy to start feeling hopeless and scared and terrified and like there's no hope, right? There's no chance. I'm not going to make it. We're not going to make it. Even if I make it, my relatives aren't going to make it, right? But you've got to do everything you can to resist that hopelessness and that helplessness, because that is going to make it so much harder for you, so much harder for all of us to stand up for ourselves and fight for ourselves. We've got to believe in our power. We have to believe in our power. So you might be saying, well, give me something to base this hope on, right? We need some data. And so I've been going on TikTok and reading different things, and I've seen some encouraging things. Like there was a news report about a Russian politician who came out and very explicitly said that they helped Trump with the election, that in return he has to do certain things for them. And so that was hopeful. It's like, okay, there's some evidence. I'm also seeing that there's been reports in several counties and swing states that there were tabulation problems, that lots of votes were found to be missing, and that when they get counted later, that the outcome is changing. We also saw that Harris is sending out emails talking about a victory fund and a recount fund, and people are feeling hopeful about that there might be a recount. So there's stuff kind of coming out, but it's coming out very slowly, and it's At the same time that little bits of stuff is coming out to make us think, oh, maybe there's a chance the outcome will be reversed. Then we're also getting the mainstream media saying, oh, he's won everything. He's got the House, he's got the Senate. And, we got to keep in mind that we've been seeing that with the media, that they say things before they actually know them. And then we find out later, oh, that wasn't really true. And then they have to change their story. And so you got to kind of be cautiously optimistic, and you have to be very skeptical of the things that you're hearing in corporate media. So I woke up this morning once again feeling really hopeful and really peaceful. I was feeling stressed again yesterday. It's a roller coaster ride for all of us, right? Emotionally. But I once again felt very good. I had a very long session with my guides today, and they once again told me, what they said to me very clearly today was that there are several different kind of political groups or factions or very powerful people who don't want Trump in office. And because there are so many different groups who don't think it's in their best interest for him to be in office, that he's not going to be in office. And so that was very encouraging. And they also told me that the reason that Harris got more votes was because she had the power of women organizing for her. And that what a lot of women are feeling now is, oh, we failed. We failed to organize enough. We failed to come together across racial lines. We failed. And that's not true. We didn't fail. But that's what it looks like. And unfortunately, because it looks that way, there are a lot of people who are angry with each other. And also there are a lot of people who are just feeling very, like they just have no power. They're just feeling like, oh, it doesn't matter that I worked so hard to elect her because it didn't work. Like we all worked so hard and it didn't work, and we just have no power. And we just can't come to that conclusion, because if we come to that conclusion, it's going to make it a lot harder for us moving forward. We have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe in our power, our individual power, and our collective power. And I wanted to say something about the way psychics work, because of course, being psychic doesn't mean you can see the future 100%, doesn't mean that you're always accurate. The most accurate psychics in the world are between 80 and 90% accurate. I certainly don't claim to be 100% accurate. Nor is predicting the future my thing. I'm a medical intuitive. I'm a healer. I don't normally do stuff like this, but I was called to do this by my guides. They just told me it was really important for me to get on some platforms and talk about this to help us move forward. So I'm seeing all these possibilities, right? I think all of us psychics who are tuning in, we're seeing different possibilities in the future, because of course the future isn't set. And it's difficult to see all of these different possibilities, some of which are really scary. But what I'm seeing, which is what really all a psychic can ever tell you, is, if this, then that. What I'm seeing is that if we stay grounded in our power and we stay hopeful and we combine our collective power, spiritual power, together, that we will be successful. That's the track we're on right now. And it's not just us, it's also because there are also lots of other groups, they told me, that do not want him in office. So do whatever you can to maintain the hope. So let's all collect our data. If you have anything that you've learned that will give us reason to be hopeful, please put it in the chat, put it in the comments. If you have any links, if you have any news, reasons for us to be hopeful, please share it. Thanks.